Namaskar, everyone. So today we are starting a new series that is transition, or we say Mahadasha transition. In Hindi, we say it is Dasha Sandhi. So today we will talk about if you are switching from Mercury to Ketu Mahadasha. So this switching period or this transition period, what actually it gives you, or how you feel during this time, and what possible events will happen in your life, we will talk about that. So first of all, from the last 17 years, you are associated with the energy of Mercury, the planet of action, the planet of communication, fast thinking, quick learning, and all about. Mercury is purely a planet which is based on logics, analytics, and all, and it is a progressive planet. But now you are entering to the Mahadasha of Ketu, the planet which gives you a lot of sudden switching, planet which represents detachment, moksha. It is just an opposite planet to the Mercury. So from the last 17 year, you are with the energy of Mercury, and now you are transiting to the energy of Ketu for the next 7 years. So these next 7 year, and especially the Dasha Sandhi time, the transition period, that is, or we say from the last 1 year of the Mercury Mahadasha and to the entering period of Ketu Mahadasha, that is for the initial 6 months, we can say. So the round of 18-month period from the last 1 year of Mercury Mahadasha and the starting around 6 months of Ketu Mahadasha, what actually you feel, what actually you get during this time, we will talk about that. So first of all, this Dasha transition is not a fixed period. It depends on the previous Mahadasha tenure as well as the next Mahadasha tenure. But in general, we can say the last one or 1 year or 6 months, and the next coming Mahadashas 6 months, as the Ketu time is of just 7 year only as compared to the Mercury 17 years. That's why I'm taking 6 years, 6 months only. But if some other planet is there, I will take around 1.5 years. So around these 18 months are the transition period. So what events and what actually you feel during this transition, we will talk about that. So first of all, this is a very important transition, and the reason for that is very simple. Ketu and Mercury are quite different planets. Ketu is totally about self introspection and your spiritual inclination. And Ketu also represent detachment. Wherever Ketu plays in your birth chart, it creates some sort of detachment. On the other hand, Mercury is purely practical planet, a neutral planet that believe in logic, calculation, and reasoning. This Ketu represent the entire side of what you actually feel internally, what your soul actually want. That is Ketu. Ketu is your inner calling. So this is shifting where you will move from communication toward spirituality and from logic toward self introspection. You will get to see a very extreme shift here. So first of all, if we talk about the transition period, as I discussed earlier, it is of around 18 months. So you may feel certain things, and one more important thing is that Ketu is the most powerful planet in your birth chart. There is a simple reason for this, which we all experiences. Wherever Ketu sits in a birth chart, in whichever house it is, you will definitely feel and see its result and prediction in your life. Meanwhile, for other planets, you can say to some extent that their results might run a bit according to you. Though that is not practically possible, not entirely possible. But Ketu, definitely, whichever house it is in, it is a planet that will teach you how to accept or absorb things in some way or another. So that extreme energy is Ketu, and we all know Ketu is purely karmic planet. So we have to keep this thing in mind. This thing in the mind. Moving forward, let's talk about what you will experience when the time of the Sasandhi arrives. Because check one thing first of all, in your birth chart, in which nakshatra Ketu is placed, in which lunar mansion Ketu is placed, and in which house it is in. If suppose Ketu is in own nakshatra like Mula, Magha, or Ashwini, then the shifting can be easy. Somehow, if Ketu is the nakshatra of Jupiter also, then shifting is easy. However, if Ketu is in nakshatra of Mercury or in the Rahu nakshatra, especially Mercury nakshatra, suppose it is in Jyeshtha, Aslesha, or Revati, especially Jyeshtha and Aslesha, and in Rahu's Shatabisha or Adra nakshatra, then definitely this shifting, this transition will happen at a very extreme level, which you will feel very strongly. So these two things, apart from which, check where Ketu is in your birth chart, because you need to understand that the entire energy of Mercury, which you are feeling from last 17 to 18 years, is now completely shifting toward Ketu. Actually, understand one more thing: the Mahadasha of Mercury is mostly progressive. Here, the graph you will see get to see over time, whether you call it your growth or any aspect of your life. The graph is something look like quite smooth, whether it is toward the side of decline or toward the side of growth. But when it comes to Ketu, during the 7 year period of the Ketu, there is no pattern to the graph. It is not like hyperbola, it is not like something else. It is like an ECG, where your lines on the graph will change like this over time. That is why I am saying that Ketu energy is very intense. I'm not trying to scare you. I just want to tell you what emotional shift can come. We were discussing that if suppose Ketu is in your first house, then definitely a strong shift will be seen in your behavior and your psychological behavior. Basically, you will feel that yes, now either I won't be able to do such things or I will not able to manage such things. Such thoughts and inner conflicts will be felt by you when Ketu is in the first house, and at the same time you are moving in the direction of introspection. Suppose you were previously during the time of Mercury, you are more publicly focused. Now you will now try to focus on yourself and try to think about yourself during this time. For example, suppose if Ketu is in the fourth house, then you will have to work a lot on your home, family, and house, and especially on the mental piece. One more example: if Ketu is in the seventh house, then married life, relationship, and business partnership will be seen getting affected. This is very clear, and this sub and exact and actually the this axis, that is 1 and 7, first house and seventh house. This axis is also a karmic axis. So I have seen many cases, especially when Ketu is in the first or seventh house. Many cases where during the Antardasha of Rahu, or we can say vice versa also, in the time of Rahu Madasha, Ketu Antardasha, uh, what actually happened, relationship are seen deteriorating. People even file for the divorce. Actually, I'm talking this in a very general term. For the more precise information, we have to check the seventh lord condition definitely. Just even an example only. Similarly, suppose Ketu in the 10th house, then there's a lot of fluctuation in the career. Either the career will grow immensely or decline significantly. Both things will getting out. So now let's we talk about the houses. We all discussed about the houses. Now we come to the sign in which Ketu is in, which also play a very important role. Before that, verify one more thing. If Ketu and Mercury are conjunct in your birth chart, meaning they are together and close by degrees, whether in D1 chart or in D9 chart, it will surely give you a blessing that it will give you like a higher philosophical side. You think, or we say deep thinking ability. That is what we say type of blessing, in which you can think about various aspect of life in omnidirection. That is the blessing of Ketu. So now let's talk about the sign. Suppose Ketu is in the watery sign, that is in the Cancer or in Scorpio or in Pisces. There is a strong possibility that your spiritual inclination will increase, your intuitive side will increase, and along with the logic. Remember that thing. You will be seen using intuition as well. Both means both logic as well as intuition will grow at that time. On the other hand, if Ketu is in the earthy sign, that is on the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, then it is problematic definitely. And because you feel like things are pointless, you will feel a sense of dilemma about what to do and what not to do. So sometimes suddenly identity shift occur where you feel earlier I was not like this. Why have I become like this now? Such type of thought process. Why am I thinking about things this way? Why have I become so optimistic? Or why am I thinking so negatively? That dilemma is there, meaning a very strong psychological shift will come whenever K2 is in earthy sign. So just take care of this one. Similarly, suppose we talk about the Ketu is in the fiery sign, that is in Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This is the best placement. I have seen so many chart practically. This is the best placement, especially concerning the financial side or regarding achieving your targets and goals. I have seen many chart where Ketu Mahadasha is running, yet despite having many problems in their life, the person grow financially. This is what my personal experience. And I want to share one more thing apart from astrology, as I'm learning astrology from last 14, 15 years. And and also I'm teaching in Kota coaching industry for basically for the JE exam, JE mains and JE advanced. So in few of my students chart also I have seen those having Ketu in what we say as an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. They crack their exam during the Ketu Mahadasha. Yes, definitely. I don't talk directly with them about astrology. If a student approaches me or very close to me, I sit and discuss with them and sometimes look at the chart. Well, it is outside the subject, so I don't discuss it in class. But if I meet a certain student outside, we talk, and I have seen around 14, 15 charts in my last 12 to 13 year of career in the quota industry. So this is very important placement. So now back to the topic. If your Ketu next we talk, if your Ketu is in Aries sign, that is in we say Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So because of all three, directly or indirectly, you will see represent communication, large groups, and social interaction. So you may face difficulties in relationship there. Now, relationship doesn't always mean a husband-wife relationship only. Distances are seen forming with children or with your close one. Social interaction is seen decreasing. You can say so. We can say this is when it is in these particular signs. Now, let's talk about the shift. We said that Mercury is purely practical planets. During the time of Mercury, you learn a lot of things. Logics work during Mercury time, planning work during Mercury's time, but during Ketu's time, logics and planning do not work that effectively. Remember that thing. During Mercury time, you must have experienced that you were on the side where you had a lot of communication, you believe in networking, there was a lot of social interaction, and along with that lot of friends or business deals. This side where we feel that we are alive outside the house too, and our interaction remain maintained somehow during the time of Mercury. But now if Ketu is in the first house in the birth chart, or Saturn in the first house, or Saturn in the 11th house, things can be different. The all things which I just informed you about the during the Mercury will happen only if Ketu is not in the first house, Saturn is not in the first or 11th house. Because if Saturn is the 11th or first or Ketu is in the first, then the thing will be different. Then you won't see these interactions so effectively in your entire birth chart or in entire life. But I stated as a generalized point. Remember that thing, okay? But as soon as this period starts, the transition time begin, then you feel that first of all, you have to surrender yourself. Mostly what I have seen is that you have to surrender to God. Situations arises in the life that compel us to move toward spirituality and meditation in life. So it is a very extreme energy. Look, personally, if I say I'm not that big of a fan of the idea that Ketu will always lead you toward spirituality, as my experience, it's not like that. And I have seen many charts where it isn't so. Because Ketu's way of leading you there is through a lot of suffering, while Jupiter is on the easier side. So to say that Ketu always, yes, Ketu is definitely the significator of spirituality. I agree with that, but it is not necessary in every chart unless Ketu operates through its your own nakshatra, then it work effectively. Or in the Jupiter nakshatra, as I said earlier. Or if Ketu connect with the 8th or 12th house, or the first house, or the fourth or ninth house, then you can see these things. But still sitting in an analyzed way, that Ketu will always lead you toward spirituality is not completely correct. Remember that thing. Okay. So during the transition time, the first thing you feel, if you have not retired by then, or if your career has not started, it's a different matter otherwise. If you are in job or profession, if you are in job or profession, the first thing is that you might try to resign, not because your salary is not increasing or you didn't get a promotion, but because of the surrounding, because of the office environment, what you have been tolerating for a long time, now you want to switch, you want to leave or you want to change the job. But remember, this is a kind of a trap of Ketu. This is a kind of a trap of a Ketu. You can say, especially in the transition period, it's a trap when you are moving from one place to another just to satisfy your subconsciousness. That only. Okay, I will feel better at that place, but as soon as your transfer happens, or you switch job and go somewhere else, or even if you lose your job, mostly that I have seen is that even there you didn't find much. Sorry, you didn't find much satisfaction. Remember that thing. See, I am not talking about finances here. I am talking solely about your office environment. So this is a strong possibility, because remember, Ketu is purely a karmic planet. So this period is starting now. Gradually, you are moving toward a cleansing phase. Cleansing phase, where we saw during Mercury's time that communication is very, very necessary, interaction is very necessary, and you didn't focus much on personal life. Now, whatever materialistic side or ego you had, all of that will gradually undergo cleansing, gradually undergo cleansing. You can say, and you realize that your soul actually, what your soul actually want, you will get to know after 7 years, or rather you will know at this time what I truly need and what truly will make me happy. This is the key to who my actual relatives are, meaning the difference between just being a relative and being a close to you. This clarity is given by the Ketu. You will be able to differentiate this line. Many times we have to maintain relationship forcibly during this Ketu transition time. I repeat again, many times we have to maintain relationships forcibly during this Ketu transition time, or many relationships are forcibly imposed on you in life. So that phase will also come. Remember that thing. But gradually you will feel quite distance in relationship. As I said earlier, relationship doesn't mean husband wife or girlfriend boyfriend. Apart from that, you will feel that the more alone I stay, the more I talk to myself, the more I stay enclosed in a room, that will make you feel a bit better. Staying enclosed in a room doesn't means completely locking the door. Its meaning is somewhere that you want to, or time will make you such that you will think a lot about yourself. That place I'm talking about. You will think a lot about the past 17 years, what I did, what I didn't do, what mistakes I made. You will see all those things. So this was a small analysis of mine. Yes, one more thing, and the most practical remedy I want to tell you. Uh, First one is that yes, in the morning you can read Vishnu Sahasranam. I repeat, in the morning you can read or chant Vishnu Sahasranam. And if there is a sleeping issue and much more anxiety and depression condition is there during the Mahadasha, you just go with the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. You just chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. That mantra. Even if you are unable to chant it, suppose you are not in the mood or such situation is arises, then you should listen to it. You should listen to it. For instance, when you go to sleep at night, play it nearby on your phone or any instrument for 10 to 15 minutes. Definitely, this will give you a somewhere, subtle feeling somewhere that just channelize you in the direction that you feel a little bit more comfortable. That is the blessing of this mantra. It is my practical experience. So this is what all about, a very small analysis of mine about the Sandhi. And if you like this video, then kindly do like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. Om Namah Shivaya. And you can directly support me on my phone number.